on, everybody? Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
Today we are here talking Star Wars Tales of the Empire, an anthology series that has debuted on Disney Plus. All 6 episodes are out, and you understand my air quotes. That's one of the big problems I had with this. Jovi's very tired, so we're gonna try to get through this. But yeah, man. So I wasn't even planning on watching this. I'm sorry, I wasn't planning on talking about this. I watched it. I think it came out last weekend, right? Came out last weekend.
No, it dropped on May the 4th. So yes, last weekend.
Oh yes, they came out on Star Wars Day, and I watched the first episode, and I was like, I don't care to watch this. Now the thing is, I ended up watching the rest of it because I went to a friend's who was just watching it. And it's very short. I think the entire thing might be just over an hour.
Really?
Yeah. Each episode is like 13 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that short.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
So, speaking of, if you don't know, so it's 6 episodes. So this is the next Tales of series. We had Tales of the Jedi, which every single episode was its isolated story. Yes. Here, the stories aren't so much isolated as the first 3 deal with Morgan Elsbeth. Yes. And then the last 3 deal with Barriss Offee.
Yes. So two different stories we got.
Yeah, so it's 2 stories in this one split across 6 episodes. Whereas I think the first one we had a little bit more diverse across the 6 episodes. So Jovi, we were texting, and I'm not the biggest fan of this, but I'm positive vibes on this Friday, bro. Tell me what you thought of it.
I don't think I hated it as much as you did.
The way you start in, I already know you didn't.
I would just no, I didn't love it. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I did. I enjoyed it for what it was. It does not at all touch Tales of the Jedi. It felt like I don't know what it was missing, and that's literally what we do. Like we tell you what it's missing, but I can't tell you what it was missing. The 2 stories were really cool because I was interested in knowing more about Morgan. The second story, I was like, I really didn't like her character when she was out here, framing Ahsoka. So I didn't,
right.
I didn't care. I didn't care for her story. Cool. You ended up being good in the end. I don't, but like getting Morgan's story, that was a little more impactful. But at the same time, these are 2 stories that, like Tales of the Jedi, bro. Like getting a Dooku story,
a young Dooku story,
like what? Yeah. That's amazing. Like that's what we want. So I would have thoroughly enjoyed this 10 times more if we got 6 stories.
I agree. So here's the thing, and I think it's unnecessary because of the way it was. They could have just made this 2 episodes. Like 2, you could have made this 2 35-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Because the Morgan story, let me tell you, that was rough for me, bro. I'm flipped on this with you. I like the second one more than I like the first one.
Yeah.
Morgan. Yeah. So the first Morgan story, we see her. Technical difficulties.
We start off with Morgan as a
we start off with Morgan as a Night Sister. Yeah. And when I saw this, I remember I saw the description. I was like, oh, I remember her from Ahsoka and The Mandalorian, right? So I was like, okay, you know what? It is interesting to me. I wonder why she's so devoted to Thrawn, right? Yeah. So I was like, all right, maybe we'll learn it. So we see she's a Night Sister. The Empire destroys her planet. And I think that's really the majority of the first.
That's the first episode, yeah.
And it's like she just is, she's devastated by the end of it. I mean, she meets a friend. The Empire kills that friend, or not even a friend, just another associate. And that's the whole thing. The second one, I thought was the second and third ones I thought were a complete waste of time, bro. Literally the only thing. So in the second one, she goes to the Empire proposing a new ship, and the Empire's like, yeah, we're not paying for this, but we'll come take like all the. I think she said all the resources off of the planet you're on.
Yeah, which it was a very weird interaction. So
yeah, which is the planet she was on when Ahsoka came and visited her in The Mandalorian,
and she had taken over.
She was the magistrate. So the only interesting thing about that is Thrawn shows up in that episode, and basically like he's the actor who plays him is so good.
Yeah.
There's a great moment because it's like he's like, I can see through you, and I know what you want is not to serve the Empire. So what do you want?
Right.
Which again I thought was really interesting because I'm also thinking like they killed your whole family. Why are you trying to serve the Empire so much?
I
This
mean,
is something I was even thinking before Tales came out.
it
Right?
connects them in a really, really awesome way. Because if you have, you've started reading his stories, but like if you read Thrawn's books and then you know what like the ultimate goal is for Thrawn, like he himself does not bang with the Empire.
Yeah, he called them fools.
Yeah,
He doesn't like I think he doesn't bang with the way it is now.
yeah,
Right. He's not a rebellious type, or he's not pro rebellion, but
yeah. No,
the
he's
Empire
just
has flaws.
he's using it to literally save his planet. That's it. And
Yeah,
his
and
people. That's it.
she wants so she says she wants revenge, which is funny because
Right.
I get she doesn't know it was the Empire that destroyed her people because it was Grievous, and she
Mhm.
doesn't know that Grievous and the
Yeah,
Separatists
yeah.
were secretly
We're
the Empire.
separatists. We're the Empire, right?
She doesn't know that, but it's just funny to me. It's like all the people you want revenge on, like they're gone. The droids, Grievous. I get she probably wants to bring her Night Sisters back, but it's just her motives seem not very I guess grounded is the word to me. I'm not really buying it. And maybe that's it. I don't really I'm not really into her character. So then the third episode comes and we just see her as the magistrate on this planet. And I'm not going to tell you, Jovi, I'm not going to lie. I fell asleep twice on this train. It's a 13-minute episode. I fell asleep twice on it.
That one is pretty boring and dark. It's like,
Yeah, because like it's the rebellion after the Emperor is dead. The rebellion comes to that planet.
yeah,
The New
and
Republic.
it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
because it's like they tried to connect
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka, the end of Ahsoka show,
Yeah.
and this like make it make sense that you yourself that want revenge, it's like hell bent on helping the Empire.
Right. Like
Very
I don't
weird. It is a
right.
very weird thing. But again, and I say this because I was interested to know how she rose to power and why the hell she wanted to help Thrawn so bad.
And I think that should have been fleshed out a lot more than it was, bro.
Yes.
Like
Right.
it was we got little teases here, and I think that's probably why I just wasn't interested. Like these like if they wanted to flesh out her full story and animate it, I probably still wouldn't love it, but I think I'd like it a lot better than
Yeah.
this had presented it. So yeah, I mean, those first 3 episodes, I didn't care. Now, the thing is, Barriss, I actually was interested to see because it starts off right after her trial, which
Yeah.
is
Like
right
literally when Order 66 is happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
right. And then there's a clone there talking about, oh, you're just lucky you're not a Jedi anymore, which again is so interesting to me that the clones, like, because in my head, I always thought the inhibitor chip was just like, bro, if they have a lightsaber, they're a Jedi, just shoot them.
Yeah.
But they're still thinking, and it's like, oh, well, this person was a Jedi, but betrayed them, so she's probably okay.
Yeah.
So they're not just robots, just following like a command. Which
and that's what, again, you haven't watched it, which makes Bad Batch such a great show because it really fleshes out everything that we see in the future when like trying to get clone rights, because they literally have brains. They literally think like on their own. It's not all programming. And that was the issue with the clones. They weren't supposed to be that. They were supposed to be brain dead soldiers like robots. And so yes, we can go.
Oh, but yeah, no. So I mean that whole scene may have been 5 seconds, but I was just like, that's a cool little thing that made me think. But we pick up with her, and I actually was interested because after her trial, when she tried to frame Ahsoka, I never really understood. Like, she bombed the Jedi Temple, said the Jedi were evil, and I'm like, bro, like, well, what do you think is gonna like? What is your goal here? And throughout these 3 episodes, just like Morgan's, we have her. I guess we'll call it her youth, and then her adulthood, her arc for these 3 episodes. We see that she basically kind of realizes, oh yeah, I was wrong. I kind of replaced, evil with more evil, or corruption with more corruption.
Right.
Yeah. I did like the. I mean, I know it's a cliche, but the redemption arc that both her and her friend went through, who's her friend's name I forget right now, but I thought that was cool. And then
Mhm.
the first episode literally shows the inception of the Inquisitors. I thought that was
Yes.
cool.
No, that was the best part out of all 6 of these episodes.
Yeah, bro.
That was dope because we literally get the Inquisitors in video games, we get it in
Mhm.
TV shows, like, they are, like, part of Star Wars lore that we did not have 10, 15 years ago, which
And
is
what's
yeah.
funny to me, bro. What's his name? The Grand Inquisitor, whose real name I forget. But
Mhm.
he says something like, "Yeah, the Jedi are gone. The universe needs new peacekeepers or something like that."
Yeah.
And Darth Vader, former Jedi, is
Right.
just sitting there commanding them. And it's in my head. I'm like, bro, do you not see what is happening? Like,
Right.
you got rid of the Jedi because you said they were corrupt. And then you
Right.
replaced them with something worse than them. Like,
Yeah.
how do you not see this, man? And
And
maybe
it's like
it's
you
Palpatine.
you
I don't know.
you got the title of the master, but you never got the perks of being a master, and now you're literally a master of a group of freaking assassins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. But yeah, like you said, seeing former Jedi how they picked the Inquisitors or the trials they went through, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Barris did something that I've often wondered why no one else does.
Mm.
So she did the force choke, right? We've seen
Yeah.
people do that, but
Right.
she like snapped dude's neck with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joby, if I was a Jedi, that's all I would do. Like
Oh, yeah.
I'm not joking. Before I put out the lightsaber, the easiest and most efficient way to kill you, bruh. I'm gonna snap your neck.
I even say I would break your hands.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I just like so you can't use your lightsaber. But
Yeah.
like it's too that takes too much sense, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then like she's really strong. Like we get that through it all. Like
Yeah.
they know like,
Yeah.
they're kind of
She's an overlord.
they're kind of scared. And I love that about animation and that type of animation because you can see these facial expressions. So it's like you can see every time she does something, they're kind of like,
Yeah, Grand Inquisitor thought she was weak until she released the Force, man.
yeah,
And then even in the next episode, after she becomes an Inquisitor, Barris, the very next episode is just showing what we all know, Empire evil. You
yeah.
just go to this village and just kill a bunch of people. And she's
Kills
like,
a
"Oh yeah,
whole
I'm not
bunch.
rocking with this."
Yeah.
Right? So she immediately leaves.
Which is
Which
crazy. Like I
yeah,
didn't think it was gonna go like that at all.
me neither. Like I knew that like from the way she was talking in the first episode, I knew that like I was like, she's not gonna enjoy being an Inquisitor, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that quickly. Um so yeah, man, like you said, she kills someone, they're hunting Jedi, she kills a bunch of people, then she knocks her old friend off of a mountain using the
Right.
force. Which as soon as she fell off that mountain, I was like, yeah, she survived that. Like there's like I just know it. I knew it. But anyway, so then the last episode, which I think is
It's funny because that we all think like that because I said the
yeah,
same thing. I was like, oh well, she's not dead.
yeah, right. You didn't see a body. She fell into mist. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
coming
Right.
back. But now so the last episode was actually my favorite one when Barris is old and she's living on an ice planet and taking in people and
Yeah.
helping them, either healing them or helping them escape the Empire because they're force sensitive. And this is the one where we really see how much she's grown because when that Inquisitor comes for her dog and she fights her without a lightsaber, that was
That
one of my favorite
I
scenes.
love. Yeah, I definitely love that scene.
Yes,
Um,
it was animated so well.
I was like that. So the the 3 episodes with her were better, but again, I just didn't like her character in the past, so I just didn't have the motivation to watch it. It was
Mhm.
definitely way better arc, like, but it was just like, huh. Like I finished it in the car, and I was like, I wanted this. I wanted more from this, so now I'm upset.
Well, yeah. So again, the way this one ends, I guess she saves her friend from the dark side,
Yeah,
and then they go off into the sun's earth. They're walking off, and it ends. it seems like it was cut short.
Yeah.
Like both of these stories seem like there was more to add, and it didn't seem as full as the first Tales of the Jedi.
They feel rushed because it doesn't make sense that we got 6 stories originally that felt more fleshed out than 2 3-episode stories.
Right, exactly. And that led me to why, when I think it was Matt texted us, it was like, "Did y'all see it?" And I was like, "Bro, yeah, I saw that." Like, I
Yeah.
was not excited about it.
I know, like, we talked a little bit about it, and he was very excited about the Inquisitors. So, like, I think that was, like, the biggest thing, but at that time, he hadn't finished it, and I haven't even started, and so, like, I knocked this as quick as I coulda knocked that out in one night. I just chose to split it.
Honestly, right. So, I mean, Tales of the Empire, I think it's one of those things that we ask, like, "Hey, did you justify existing?" And I don't really think you did. I'm sorry.
I
You focused on 2 characters who, could be interesting, but you didn't do anything significant with it. I think, Barris Morgan more so than Barris. Barris at least had a bit of an arc. But
yeah,
Morgan, it was like watching her go to work. Like we're just watching her do stuff, man. So
yeah,
it
yeah,
wasn't.
I was watching a guy just explain how, like, Vader acts like he doesn't know who she is,
Yep.
uh, and, like, I get it because it happens often. It actually happens a lot in the Star Wars comics. Like, he runs into people all the time, even with Thrawn. Like like, like I told you, like, they have a past. So,
Yeah.
like, even in like, they run into each other, and it's like, "You should know who this is."
I
Like,
think that often with Vader, bro. I'm like
yeah,
all of his Inquisitors at one point, especially the older ones. I was like, bro, you had to have known who they were when you
yeah,
were
you ran into them in the temple.
right. Or
Like,
in even after Thrawn or not Thrawn, Tarkin.
yeah.
He knows who Tarkin is.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and then apparently Tarkin knows, but he, of course, doesn't say anything.
Right, yeah. He doesn't say it.
Um, but I say that to say, instead of these 6 episodes, I would have much rather had 6 episodes of more Darth Vader story. Not even more. How about we get some Darth Vader stories? Because there's some amazing Darth Vader stories that are already written.
Well, you know what? We've had Jedi, we've had Empire. Maybe they'll give us a Tales of the Sith, and then it'll focus on Vader.
I need it.
Or one of the episodes will focus on Vader.
Right. Don't do too
Yeah,
full.
I don't need this again. Again, that's again like you split up something into 6 parts that didn't need to be.
Right. So I agree that this could have been 2 episodes. So it's like, for me, it loses a lot of points. It was definitely watchable, and it was nice to get some Star Wars content. And I hate that I have to, like,
Don't settle, Jovi. You
right.
don't
And
settle.
literally that's the word. I hate that I have to settle
You
because I
got
just want
comics, you got novels, you can get content. Nah, bro, don't settle for this.
yeah. So
Yeah,
that's it.
but
Are you scoring it?
I did. I have no rating. I honestly didn't even think about like it's so. I feel like it's unfair for me to rate this because
Right.
don't like. I know I didn't like it
And
that
it's
much.
really incomplete.
Like,
It's
and
definitely
it's
incomplete.
yeah exactly. It feels incomplete. Like I feel like I'd be half rating on potential of what it is of what it could have been, and I don't want to do that. But
I'm even thinking about, like, the Morgan story, like, how far is it into the future? Like, when does she come across Ahsoka and the Mandalorian?
I think it's after these 3 episodes she comes across Ahsoka. It has to be
Because
because they're well into the
they burn the forest at the end of that episode, and Ahsoka
yeah.
comes through a burnt forest.
Oh yeah, good memory. I was also just thinking. I remember when Ahsoka met, they were pretty far into the era of the New Republic,
Yeah,
and at the end of this episode, it seemed like it just happened.
right.
Or the New Republic had just happened. So.
That had just happened, so maybe she's a little older. Why the hell does she stay on that planet that long?
I don't
And
know.
then
I don't know how
and then
she's.
and then again, we know Thrawn disappears,
Mm-hmm.
so, like, you spent all that time and resources trying to find Thrawn. So that's it's incomplete.
Yeah,
We didn't
Thrawn disappeared before the end of the
yeah,
Empire too.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like you've spent what? How many years were they gone?
Maybe
Like everybody's grown.
Yeah. Well, let's see. If the Mandalorian is not, so maybe over a decade, bro.
Yeah. So you spent a decade worth of resources and knowledge because she uses Night Sister technology and knowledge and history and resources to get this guy back.
Mm-hmm. The heir to the Empire, because she for whatever her grand scheme is, which maybe we'll find out what exactly she had in mind one day.
Oh, she's dead.
You said what?
Didn't she die in Ahsoka?
Yeah. No.
No.
Yes. Yes. She had that. I remember that she had that super long fight scene.
Yeah.
It took so long. But yes. Okay. Yep. But hey, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out some other way. I don't know, bro. And, people don't. It's easy for people not to actually be dead in these things, but we'll see.
Right.
But anyway, Tales of the Empire. People, tell us what you thought of it. This was a very cynical video. We did not like it, but if you loved it, let us know.
Right. Hey, it's watchable, man. It's watchable. It's just we're critical, especially when it comes to this type of content.
Yeah, especially this type. But thank you so much for sticking with us, guys. As always, if you like what you see, go ahead, hit that little subscribe button and the bell. I have to remember to say that. I always forget to say that. But until there you go, sound effects. But until next time, y'all, we out.
Deuces.